Hello and welcome back to CSGB Racing. We're here for the next round of the F1 tier here in Hungary this week. This is round 8, I do believe, of a 12 round calendar. Of course, we get another week into this, not too long to go now. Championship, however, nearly wrapped up. Not too long left to go in that. Bear with me one moment so I can get the stream shared. Then we'll be all good to go. Share. So we have 16 racing tonight. Cool, that should be that all sorted. Let's just get my tablet set up with the chat. And then we'll be all good. Just quickly get out who has gone out so you have something to watch. Anyways, we should be here for a good race. I don't believe Dane is coming tonight. I haven't heard from him. And he wasn't in the lobby. Yeah, Natsuki does still lead the championship by quite some way. Sorry, messed up my words already. Not the best of starts. Yeah, it should be a very good race. Obviously here at Hungary, 14 corners. Very technical sector in the middle as well. It is classed as Monaco without the barriers due to its tight and twisty nature through that middle sector. And obviously a very long pit straight as well, very long run to the first corner as well. So getting a good launch off the line is going to be very crucial. Before we get to the start of the race, we of course have qualifying to get through. Kazakhs is the first driver then to start a lap. This comes down into the first corner. Just about catching what looked like quite heavy oversteer there on the exit, now before coming down into the second corner. Don't really want to touch the inside curve there. You can touch it more than you used to be able to, but it's still pretty much one to avoid. Very fast through that left-hander there, very easy to cut the track as well, or run wide. Doing one of those two alternatives will invalidate your lap. So now coming through the chicane at turn 6 and 7, before you get into the real twisty bit. That left-hander flat, this right-hander here very nearly flat. In these modern cars, the real Mercedes cars were flat through there. Of course, in real life. One more corner to go now for Kazakhs. Just down to third very quickly before back up into fourth. Up to the line, and the first lap is a 1:14.2 for Kazakhs in the Red Bull. Next to the line will be one of the Haas cars, that is Eklund. He comes through the final corner now. He of course goes second, two of the times at the moment, 1:14.5. Hindle goes third. Other times that have come in there, Netski's gone fastest by a second. 1:13.2 in the Alpha Tauri. Also across the line we've had Romsey's gone 4th, Festa 6th, and then Ronzu's down in 7th. Next to the line looks to be one of the Ferraris. They both on a lap, they are. Olga Trainman then through the final corner. Crosses the line, goes P4. His teammate behind him goes into P9. Would have been heavily affected by the understeer, by the dirty air. He came through the middle sector right behind his teammate. Believe that is it for the first runs. At least the guys that went out straight away. Next to the line, that is a valid lap. I believe it will be Jay Prentice. Nope. Got the wrong racing point there. Rainman's lap is invalid, so I believe Timmy will be next to the line as his teammate gets out of the way. Coming down into turn 12. One of the Ferraris has gone off at turn 5 there, but Timmy around the final corner. He's a little bit of the carbon on the exit, runs up to the line, goes P2 in his Mercedes. Good lap there, 14.1, still only one driver into the 113s. Next up to the line, I think one of the Williams cars. Is that going to be James? No, James just started his lap. Vapor Trench then coming through the middle sector. I believe will be the next car up to the line. Both the Williams cars are currently in the first sector on their laps. As Vapor Trench does go purple through the middle sector, don't know how reliable that is. We'll have to wait and see. 2 more corners to tackle. It's looked very neat from what we've seen so far. Through the last corner then, a lot tighter line than we have seen. Opens DRS, runs up to the line and goes P6, purple sector 3 as well according to the game. That could well have been the case and he just messed up the first sector somewhere. Or just made a mistake. Next up to the line then will be James, I believe. At least next to finish the lap. One more corner to go then for the Williams driver. Won the sprint race last week in a wet Belgium race as Ron Zeus is retired from the session. James goes up into P4, racing point to the line behind him. That is Jay Prentice jumping up into P11. And the second Williams goes 7th, or Vapor Shea. 2 more cars then yet to set a lap time as his Rainman still in the pit lane. Did try a run earlier but invalidated some point around the lap. Trixie then coming through the middle sector now, just 3 more corners to go. Hooks it up, looks a little bit wide, but you'll get a slightly better exit for that small straight towards turn 14. Look just about fine through there, comes up to the line, goes P10. Second of the 2 Renaults, currently sitting 8th and 10th. Decent turnout for them so far. Anybody back on a flying lap? Jay Prentice in lap for him. Trixie, I'd imagine in lap as well, they just finished theirs. I think Ekelund might be out for a second run already on his lap. So he's now coming down through turn 3. Comes up, is a 10th up, nearly 2 tenths up through turn 4, but loses the back of the car into the wall. I think all 4 tyres are still on that Haas. He is changing gears, very careful not to reverse into the track there. Possibly blocked Netsky ever so slightly, who is on a lap. So we'll switch over to the Alpha Towering now. He comes through this middle sector, runs a little bit wide however, and does invalidate that lap. Don't know how much it was compromised by Ekelund, so that might not matter too much, for that lap will not count. Kazac's on a lap as well now. One of the Ferraris have gone off there at turn 3. Facing the wrong way I believe as well, not sure how they managed that one, but Kazak is 2 tenths up as he comes through turn 4. You don't want to touch that curb on the inside at all or you will spin. Coming through the chicane, look nice and neat there for the Red Bull driver. Again, very easy to invalidate coming through here. It's a very fast section of the track, very twisty, just about keeps the car on the track. On the exit of 11, does go purple sector 2 as well, according to the game. I think that was 3 tenths up on his personal best, which will put him second. One more corner to go now. Comes after the final corner, DRS opens, runs to the line, does go second, finds just short of 4 tenths. Second driver down into the 113s now. So I believe Vapor King just starting a lap. Olga Train Man is already on one, but it's 22 seconds down, so I believe he was the Ferrari facing the wrong way. So Rain Man, I do believe will be the next car to set a line, unless that Renault's on a lap. Nope, out lap for that Renault. Rain Man keeps it nice and valid through turn 4. Looked to be slightly compromised run just to ensure the lap stayed as a counting one. And as he twists through the middle sector, actually I think Kazak's... Okay, no, he's not on a lap, just thought I'd check just in case he is ahead on track. 3 more corners left now for Rain Man again, saying purple. Through the middle sector. I have a feeling that might just be dishing out to every driver, but we'll see what Rain Man can do. 2 corners left. Turns it in through 14, keeps the car nice and tight to the wall on the inside. Crosses line and goes P6, a decent lap there for the Alpha Tauri. Next to the line will be, I think, one of the Ferraris. As I should know, they've both fitted. And the Alfa Romeo is on an out lap. So now we look forward to that Renault, who is 2 tenths up on his lap and currently sitting in P9. 2 tenths at the moment will move him up 1 position. He'll get ahead of Shea. Down through the chicane. Very misleading there from that camera angle. Almost looks like the cars are completely missing the corner. But I can ensure that's not what's happening. Trench then, after the second, take the split, is a second up on his last time. This is going to put him P3 by if he can keep it up. Just 2 more corners left. I think you can invalidate on the exit of the final corner, so you're not safe until you cross the line. Keeps the car nicely within track limits though. Crosses the line and only goes, I know it is P3. Timing taking a while to update in the top right there, but it is P3 for the Renault. I think he lost a little bit of time in that final sector, as his teammate, I believe, comes up to cross the line, jumps up into P10. Next up, I believe that is Rain Man in lap, so we look to the Haas. That is Festa. 2 tenths up on his time. Doesn't look like it's going to improve a position at the moment. Comes through the final corner, crosses the line, finds 6 tenths in the end, goes up into P10. Decent for the last sector there, as Romsey crosses the line, actually comes up into P10 as well. Knocks Festa back down to 11th. One of the racing points up next, that is Hindle. He isn't validated, however. So this lap will not count. See what he does. Yeah, he dives into the pit lane. We're back to the 2 Renaults. I believe they'll both be on an in lap. Those 2 on an in lap as well. So no one's on a flying, I don't believe, right now. However, James is on an out lap. I believe he is the first of them. I think that would be Mercedes or Timmy. Let's come up for an out lap as well. However, James validated this lap. That won't matter too much. Of course, Runzus will be starting last in this race. After that retirement, I'm not too sure what happened. I'm not sure if he made a mistake out on track. But he won't be taking part in this session anymore. It's actually James comes to the pit lane. Not too sure about that choice, but it's one that he has made. As Romsey started a lap with no battery to deploy at all. And then he'll not open DRS either, so I think that's it for the Alpha. May have just forgotten to pit, as the fuel icon is flashing as well. But Timmy, now about to start a lap, comes across the line. Very important to get a good run out of that last corner, or you're going to lose a lot of time. Coming down to turn 1, looks like a little wide of the apex, but he will get a slightly better exit. Comes down to turn 2. A little bit of proof there, you can just about clip that inside curb without the game spinning you around. Is just over a tenth up as well as he comes up through turn 4. So the inside there is a definite no-go zone. And through 6 and 7 at the chicane, using all of the track on the exit for throwing the car in to the proper twisty bit here in the middle of the track. As he's gained a little bit more time there in the second sector, currently sitting P4. If he can just get over to that 2/10 gap, he could potentially put himself second here. Just one more corner to get around. Takes a very narrow exit on the end, but does jump up into P3. Vapor Trench is out of the session. Actually, now there's not enough time to set another lap if you're just leaving the pits. If you're already out on track, you will be fine. So next car to the line looks to be the Alpha Tauri of Netsky. He just crossed the line, set a 1 minute 12.8. Finds an additional, I think, 3 tenths it said there on his previous lap next to the line. And I've said that a lot, but there's a lot of cars coming around the track. This is one of the Williams cars. That's an outlap for both of them. So look to the Ferraris. Trainman almost 5 tenths up, coming into turn 12, just about keeps the car on the track before swinging it in through 13. An absolute train of cars backing up, ready to start their laps. There's still plenty of time. Trainman finds 2 tenths, puts himself in P6. But down next up will be, if we can try and judge this correctly, next car on a flying lap, trying to figure this out. Is it the Haas? There's Ekelund, there it is. It is, but I think he's made a mistake on this lap, unfortunate for him. Come into the pit lane. The Mercedes also into the pits. And I believe Netsky in lap as well. As James made a mistake on his flying lap. Gone off at turn 11, sorry. Vapor 6 tenths up. Now with 2 corners to go, you can throw a lot of time here if you try and overdrive the car. The clock now has run down. Kazakh has gone off at turn 5. Vapor crosses the line, finds 7 tenths, but jumps up into P5. Next up, I believe, is Hindle to the line. No, it's teammate Jay Prentice who has invalidated, so his lap will not count. King as well, invalidating, so the Haas of Festa's also invalidated. He's spinning, he's lost the car. That may affect Hindle a little bit. He'll have to take a slightly shallower line on the entry to the final corner. Across the line, however, find 5 tenths, jumps into P10. As Trixie comes into the pit lane. Not many drivers getting to the end of that session. I think 3 or 4 cars making a mistake on their final push lap, just trying to push a little bit too hard, resulting in losing a wheel. But the final grid then, as it stands, is Netsky on pole, 9 tenths ahead of the rest of them, with Kazakhs lining up on the long side him on the front row. Timmy in P3 ahead of Vapor Trench and then Vapor Shea in P5. Eklund then ahead of Trainman, James, Rainman and Hindle running up the top 10. They will have to start on the soft tyres heading into the race. And then the bottom 6 as Romsey ahead of Fester, Trixie, Vapor King, Jay Prentice and then Runzeus, who unfortunately only got one run in earlier on. Again, still not entirely sure of the reason for his retirement. I mean, I can guess it was due to overdriving the car early on. But he will be starting down at the back of the grid as we transition over into the race. I would probably hazard a guess 2 stops for all the drivers. However, some of the guys starting out of the top 10 may go for the 1 stop, depending on how confident they are with a hard tyre, if it requires that. Don't believe that you can go medium soft or vice versa around Hungary. Someone might try it, but I don't think it's recommended. Just 23 seconds to go now on the clock before we get ready for the formation lap. Then we'll be able to see what strategy everyone is going for. So as I said, it is Netsky on pole heading into this race. I think he's taken all but maybe 2 pole positions this year. A couple of them that I think may have just slipped away. We'll have to see if anyone can challenge him here in the race today. So we now take off for the formation lap. We'll quickly look at the tyres. Top 10 obviously have to start on the softs. And then outside of the top 10 there is nobody on softs. You've got Romsey down to Jay Prentice starting on the mediums, and then Ronzi's going to start on the hard tyres. Clearly a 1-stop strategy attempt at least from the bottom 6. I would imagine it would be 2 stopping for the top guys. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Someone might have incredible tyre wear capabilities. Gee, they're either soft medium medium or soft medium hard. I don't imagine anyone will be using the hard tyres. If they start on softs, maybe unless there is an issue early on in the race which would cause such an issue. But I have fairly high doubts we're going to see a 1-stop from anyone in that top 10. Got a feeling someone to watch here may very well be Vapor King, because he has shown very good pace in recent races. I think even beating Netsky to a win in America. Just have to see how he manages to progress up the field. Look out for Jay Prentice on the straights as well. Tends to run rather low downforce. If he jumps ahead of anyone off the start, it's going to be very difficult to reclaim that position. Unless, of course, he makes a mistake somewhere in the middle sector, as it is essentially one line from pretty much turn 2 around to turn 12. But all 16 drivers are now on the grid. We'll try and get a good camera angle from the start. So there we go, we can see how the front drivers building revs. 5 lights are on, and it's lights out here just north of Budapest. Looks like a good start from Netsky. However, I think Kazakh has just about drawn alongside. But Netsky leads into turn 1. Timmy tries around the outside of the first corner, not quite being able to manage it. And so Kazakhs will hold on to P2. However, the Renault there in P4 getting very close. However, it is pretty much single file now, all the way around to the start finish line. It looks very clean from the start. No one looks to have spun. We hop back up to the front. Then Netsky does lead from Kazakh's Timmy. Vapor Trench was the Renault challenging for that top 3 spot. Vapor Shea as well. Trying to get amongst it in P5. Hindle seems to have dropped back just a little bit. Just losing one position to Romsey. Somewhere in the middle sectors. They're now all final down towards turn 12. I think I saw Vapor King there going a little bit defensive. Down into the corner. So it's actually front wing damage for Hindle. That was the reason for Romsey getting past. I'd hazard a guess that was caused at the first corner. Clean first lap then for everyone except Hindle, which is unfortunate for him. I believe his teammate they're up into P11 in the racing points. Very good start for him. Started down in 15th, I do believe. Going to be some very close battles here throughout the entire race. Already Rainman there picking up a 3-second time penalty. That is not looking good for him. We are only on lap 2. The timing screen says lap 3. That is not correct. Just look behind Jay Prentice then. I believe Ronzeus getting very close to the back of Vapor King. As James Doe picks up a time penalty, there will be a lot of penalties being given out throughout the course of this racetrack. Limits an absolute nightmare. Through most, if not all of the corners, you can run wide pretty much anywhere here. Nasty, however, is pulling away at the front. Just look back up pretty much towards the front. Battle for P3 between Timmy and Vapor Trench. They come down into turn 2. This battle could get very interesting. Behind them, Vapor Shea has a nice little train going on. Covers quite a few positions. There's a very cosy little train here, 11th down to 15th, 4 of them pretty much all together. If we look off the back of the Ferrari, there you can see Ronzeus and then Trixie as well, all right together. As Kaz picks up a penalty, Ronzeus getting very close to the back of the Ferrari. The middle sector gets a little bit of a tank slap of those, so has to drop back. A lot of drivers already getting penalties, and we're only on lap 3 here. Only a 12th through the race as it stands. And the battle for P2 is getting very tasty though. Timmy pulls out from behind Kazakh, coming down the pit straight and will brake later into turn 1. As I Vapor Trench, let's have a little bit of a look. As wait for the cars to come around the corner. The Renault still behind the Red Bull, however, now goes up the inside into turn 2. Kazakh a little bit of a sitting duck without the DRS there. John loses 2 positions in 2 corners. Timmy as well looks a little bit more pace, looking to pull away ever so slightly from the 2 behind him. Next he is just checked out, as he tends to do. Already out in front by 3 seconds now. Need no DRS threat on him whatsoever, as Vesta picks up a second penalty, as does James. So there tends to be a couple trains. You have the battle for P2 now. Freeway battle possibly coming, an almost 10-car battle. As this train does actually go back down to P11 with Jay Prentice. Just behind me onto the back of Romsey. A little bit of a gap then ahead of Festa, Ronzeus and Trixie. Vapor King dropping back ever so slightly. As into turn 1, Vapor Shea and Ekelund getting very close. So they'll come down into turn 2. nothing else changing quite yet. So come up over the crest for throwing the cars into turn 4. Kazakh seems to be the car holding those top two of the rest of the pack. However, Timmy and Trench does seem to pull away just ever so slightly. At the moment, gapping Kazakhs by 1.5 seconds. As it stands, I think Hindle might slightly be catching up to King as well. So let's see how they go as James picks us up on his 3rd penalty. And we're only on lap 5. These penalties are definitely going to add up. Come the end of the race, a lot of positions going to be changed. As we have a couple of cars coming to the pit lane now. Looks like the softs are not very durable at all around Hungary. So 3 cars into the pit lane then, James, Rainman and Kazakhs. They're all going onto the medium tyres. Vapor Trench is actually now ahead of Timmy. Missed that one completely. I would have guessed that up and down into turn 1. Vapor Shea then behind them. With Ekelund and then Trainman just behind. Jay Prentice has dropped back now by 2.5 seconds. But he is the lead driver on the mediums. Ronzu's up into P9 at the moment as well. It's looking good for him in his race. As he tries to gap the DRS to Romes, he needs 1 second in order to do so. Any more drivers coming to the pit lane? Yes, they are. Vapor Shea in the 2nd Williams. Dives into the pits. I believe that'll be it then for this time around. What tyres does he go onto? Let's wait for that to update. His medium tyres then for the Williams. As he gets going once more. It's like Fester and Trixie getting rather close now, coming down towards turn 2. Battle for what is now P9. See how this transpires then over the next couple of laps. Obviously, we'd expect the rest of the soft runners to be in a couple laps, probably 3 laps, 4 laps maximum. Vapor King there picked up a time penalty. Gap at the front now sitting at 5 seconds between Netsky and Trench. Timmy then just about holding on in P3. However, your race leader along with the rest of the net podium places all into the pit lane, as does Ekelund and Trainman, just about gets the car slowed down in time. Leading Jay Prentice to lead the race as we come on to lap 8. He's obviously had a Romsey and then Ronzus on those hard tyres up in P3. Trixie then in 4th, head of Fester. And Netsky is rejoined then down in P6 all by himself. Has Fester to catch up the road, currently sitting at 4 seconds. But the gap already coming down. This battle may get a little bit juicy between King and Kazakhs. And I believe Kazakhs actually got an overcut on Trench and Timmy. However, King front wing damage on this Ferrari. That must have happened a couple laps ago when he just started to drop back. It's going to back all of these cars up into one another. Pushing through here, just seen the Red Bull giving a couple of taps. Just letting him know that he is there. This of course helping Netsky out even more than it normally would. Obviously no way past through the middle sector here in Hungary. Maybe if the car had no wing whatsoever, but you can see it's just an end plate. For the Ferrari, who clearly doesn't believe his damage is that bad, he is still holding these guys behind. But I've got a feeling Kazakhs is coming straight past here. We'll see what they do as they run down towards the first corner. He does go defensive. Kazakhs then will go to the outside. What can he do there? The Red Bull's still there. Looks like he's going to get the traction though on the exit. Coming down the hill, the Renault as well of Trench trying to get involved. Kazakhs then up into 7th. I think the Renault's just getting past there as the Ferrari loses it. Just about catches it before swiping James in that Williams. And Shea as well just slipping through. Timmy next then to take advantage of the Ferrari. Is he going to send it into the chicane? I thought he did then, just a camera angle. Not being the nicest of things. As Fester picks up yet another penalty in the Haas. Netsky as well right on the back of him at this point. We jump up then to that battle for P5. Netsky definitely going to have a look now onto the start-finish straight. Fester without the DRS then going to be a sitting duck as Netsky does come up the inside and takes the place down into the first corner. We'll go back to King then down into the 11th as Timmy gets past on the inside. Got a feeling Rainman wants by as well here. He dives up the inside under brake. Eklund will then be the next car. However, his ring's broken. He spun. Eklund is out of this race. The little tank slapper from King just about caught it. Came back onto track. Damage to the Haas, causing him to spin. And loses a wheel. The race, of course, is neutralised due to the virtual safety car. Unfortunate for Eklund, he was looking like a decent pace, qualified in the top 5. Might see some team tactics going on here between King and Trainman. As I believe you've just gone green, DRS has been enabled. So we'll see what they can do for the rest of this race. Vapor King, I think he's come into the pits now, he has as well. So that should promote Hindle up to not last, where he has unfortunately been since lap 1 due to the contact. I believe Vapor Trench and Kazakh getting very close there on the exit of turn 1. May have even been a position change, I believe there was. Renault getting up the inside, I would assume, as it was purple through the first sector. Clearly pushing very hard at the moment. Try and catch back up, but I believe that is a net P2 for the Renault. As Fester picks up, I think this is 4th penalty. It's 12 seconds so far going to be added. If it's not his 4th, it's definitely his 3rd. Netsky then catches up to the back of Trixie. Obviously started down at the back. Yet to make a pit stop, currently running P4. Very well P5 by the time they get down to the first corner. In fact, it will be 5th. Netsky pulling to the inside and then on the brakes pulls back over to the racing line. As Vapor Trench gets the fast lap of the race. Next up on Netsky's to-do list is Ron Zeus on the hard tyres. Another lock up into the second corner. Maybe a lap or so before he catches back up. He might not catch up at all. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously Ron Zeus will not be pitting for a while. Jay Prentice still leads this race then. So the yellow flag, one of the Williams cars have spun, that is Vapor Shea. through turn 4. I think he's still going. In fact, he is, but that will possibly be front wing damage for the Williams driver. Joe Prentice actually managing to hold the gap over to DRS. So on the final corner has 1.2 seconds ahead of Romsey, who is going to come under threat here from Ron Zeus down towards the first corner. However, nothing happening just yet. Netsky catching right up onto the back of this group as well. Gap now just over 1 second, 2 seconds already back to Trixie in the Renault. Kazakhs and Vapor Trench also still right together on the track. So they come up now, up over the crest towards turn 4. Vapor Shea, I think, only just got back into the pit lane. The pits for Hards will be trying to go to the end of this race. I'd imagine then we'll be seeing Netsky go to the end. On the soft hard strategy, I would imagine everyone else is pitting once more. We'll have to wait and see what they do. Still a long way to go in this race. Only lap 13 of 35 here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Of course, this is the feature race. Sprint race happening tomorrow, 7 PM, so same time as this one. Hopefully be back on the CSGB Racing YouTube channel for that. But of course, we couldn't today due to various issues. But this should be posted on their channel over the forthcoming days. So that's, you know, very close to the back of Ron Zeus. Actually going to go up the inside into turn 4. I think both drivers stayed on the track as well, and that's a very brave move from Netsky as Festa picks up another penalty. Netsky now up into P3, but he is of course a net P1. Just showing the absolute speed that he has. Any team orders from Renault possibly coming? As one of the Red Bulls goes off into the wall. That is Kazakhs, I think, just about getting away with that. I think he does have front wing damage though. Very nearly collected TRC James as he came back onto the circuit. I think the Red Bull might have front wing damage. After that, if he doesn't, that is a very impressive save. And he doesn't have any wing damage. Fair play to Kazakhs for that. As the top two come back into the pits, that releases Netsky in the lead. What tyres? I'd imagine hard tyres for those two, Jay Prentice and Ramsey. Yes, it is hard tyres for the pair of them. So we're probably not going to see Ron Zeus pit for another 10 laps, possibly. Maybe a bit more. He'll be going into the soft tyre. Or maybe he'll try the mediums. We'll have to wait and see what he does with that. So this battle here, quite close. Still a little bit amazed Kazakhs didn't get wing damage from that snap of oversteer. It was a very impressive save indeed. Definitely went onto the grass, I think, from what I saw. They run down the hill. I think that's Kazakhs. They're getting up the inside of Festa. Of course, Festa still yet to make a stop in this race. Trixie pulls into the pits now. Of course, one of the drivers that started on the medium tyres. See what tyres they go onto as they pull into their pit box now. Hard tyres for the Renault. As Timmy also makes his way up past Festa. The Haas now dropping down to P7, also yet to make a pit stop. And I believe it is one of two drivers yet to not make a stop yet. Runzu's currently up in P2 on the hard tyres, and then Festa in 7th on the medium tyre. Who is that with very low battery? That is Rainman. Just caught that in the corner of my eye there. Scrolling through the names, trying to find some action. The roller battery indeed. Trainman behind, not looking the best either, still just under 20%. Jay Prentice behind them now on brand new hard tyres has 75%. As he looks to make his way back up through the field. Obviously, I do believe at 3rd through to 7th still have to make a stop. Sorry, 3rd to 8th, Rainman also on the medium tyres. We'll have to see what they can do with their strategy. I do believe Hindu will have to stop again as well, which will drop him just the 1 position, I believe. I do think he'll come out ahead of Shea. As Trainman now right up behind Rainman. I always dreaded the day that these two got involved in a fight on track due to their similarity in their names. So run down through turn 3 now. Just picked up another penalty. I think that's 6 now for him. So that's an 18 seconds of time getting added on to the end of his race. So they come now through the middle sector chicane. Head into the twisty part of the circuit, flat through the left. Slight dab on the brake and a downshift through the right. Yellow flags in sector 2, that is for Vapor King. Second of the Ferraris, I think he's lost that at turn 4. Trainman there getting a little bit sideways on the exit of 13. Lost a little bit of time there, won't quite be able to make an attack this time around. So they head down into the first corner. So now I do believe it will be no positions lost for Hindle when he comes in to make that stop, which I do think he has to do at this point. And so did King get damage from that little spin? He did not, so another driver who's lost the car and managed to catch it. And then Vapor Shade down after his spin earlier on. Down at the back. Netsky not quite running away with this at the moment. But of course Ronzu's yet to pit, and I do believe Ronzu's in for a shot of a podium here. Obviously started down in last. Didn't get a... well, didn't seem to get like a representative lap into qualifying. After being 4 seconds off the pace. Currently running in P2 in that Mercedes, started down in 16th. Obviously retired very early in qualifying as well. But looking at the timings, I do believe he'll, unless he makes a mistake, he will be ahead of the pursuing 6 cars. Of course, as they all have to make at least one more stop in this race. Kendall now comes into the pits. Vapor Shea retires out on the circuit. I think he's lost it there. And we have a safety car deployed here in Hungary. Ron Zeus is rubbing his hands right now. It's exactly what he needed in that Mercedes. I believe he can take mediums to the end. I think it is a guess. It's going to help out Hindle a little bit as well, who did serve a bit of his pit stop under the safety car. Vapor King as well gets an entire pit stop under the safety car. And also doesn't get lapped, which is going to help him out a lot. So obviously softs won't go to the end from here. Netsky staying out. Ron Zeus kind of has to pit now. It would be a bit silly not to. What tyres does the Mercedes go on to? Vapor Trench coming in as well on mediums. So maybe I mean, Ronaldo's can't fit onto hard, he's already used those, so it's going to be mediums for the Mercedes. Who I think is going to get held up. No, not quite, just about gets ahead. In fact, the rest of them will come into the pit. Is it going to be fresh mediums for everybody? I would assume so. Mediums going on to Kazakhs. James as well, he finally gets down to his pit box at the end of the grid. Mediums for him as well. Ronzu does rejoin in P2 on brand new mediums. Festa onto soft tyres. Okay, I think they definitely won't go to the end. Still 15 laps to go. He will be very quick at the restart. I think everybody is diving into the pit lane. Hindle might get another position here. In fact, he will up into P12 now in the racing point. As he turns through turn 1. Trixie just getting out then ahead of King, who's now coming through the final corner. As the train starts to form behind the safety car. Netsky may be a bit vulnerable here. Of course, his tyres, he fitted by the looks of things on lap 9. And there's still 15 laps to go here. So we just see what his pace was like when he came out of the pits on hard tyres. It's going to be very hard to warm those up as well. So despite the pace advantage he has here, clearly he was the second ahead of anyone else in qualifying. He may still be assisting Duck here when we restart. Of course, if he pits now, he's losing all of the positions in the world. So he's now committed to going to the end of the race on this set of hard tyres. Going to be a very difficult task. I'm sure he has it in him. Fast as well, he's going to be very quick on the start. Whether or not his tyres will make the 15 laps at the end, we'll have to wait and find out. It might be possible, but he may be in a puncture territory come the end. I believe the medium should just be about okay to make the full distance. I believe if King can catch up before they get to the end of the final sector, or at least the end of the second sector, I do believe we'll be going green at the end of this lap. As James and Kazakhs have come together under the safety car. It's a mistake there from whichever driver is behind, that is Kazakhs. So Red Bull going into the back of the Williams. I believe we'll have one more lap here under the safety car. King not quite catching up just yet. We will be having one more lap then, as King actually just catching up now. Couple corners too late. And now we're past the pit entry. Kazakh's diving into the pit lane. Did he get front wing damage then from hitting the back of James? He will drop to last. It is going to be hard tyres and a new front wing, as well as the 5-second penalty. For Kazakh's clearly no more medium tyres at his disposal. However, he should get back on. He should get back onto the back of the train, as they've just exited the first corner. He's going to be in a bit of a better situation than Netsky when it comes to tyre temperature, as he's allowed to push and run at full speed to get onto the back of the train. Obviously, Netsky is forced to run at safety car speed. So we may see some very aggressive weaving from the AlphaTauri. Possibly from now. Of course, they come through the chicane. Kazakhs now rejoining the back. Down in P14. So only 2 retirements so far. 13 laps to go after this one. We'll hop back up to the front. Now you can see Netsky weaving already. He knows we're going green this lap, and he knows his tyres are gonna be stone cold. You also check on the game what your tyre temps are like. Usually if you're on hard tyres, the answer is cold. Doesn't matter how cold, they're just cold, they're not going to work. So I think as long as he survives the first sector, he should be okay. The tyres should gain temperature coming through the middle sector. He's still weaving. When is he going to decide to go? Coming up to the final corner now. And he's gone mid-corner by the looks of things. Ronzu's being caught a little bit napping, but it's still very much there on the back. Comes down to turn 1. I think Netsky's going to be fine here. Gets braking into the first corner. Exact hits the apex nicely. So I think Netsky's going to survive that one. I did see an overtake further down. I think Rainman and Trainman going at it once more. They're in behind Festa. Vapor King getting past Trixie as well further down. That would have been into turn 2. And now Kazak's going to look to have a go as they rise up over the crest into turn 4. Nothing going for him just yet. Now as they come into the chicane, the Renault using quite a bit of the curve at the second part of it. They run through the first sector, then all looks like a nice and tidy restart. Hinton up into 11th, is in the points, currently getting 2 points for his championship campaign. His teammate up in P9 getting 4 points, I believe. Trainman and Rainman then once again down the pit straight. A little further away than he has been at other stages during the race. Come down into turn 1. Netsky has not gotten away this time. Clearly the hards not quite working. Clearly his pace is enough to keep the cars behind him, but the tyres not yet giving him enough grip to pull away. So I think Timmy's just gotten past James on the exit of turn 3. I think James may have cut the corner there to pick up at least his 3rd penalty. May have more, however. All the drivers come funneling through the middle sector chicane and then through the rest of the lap. One of the cars off, and there it is, James off into the gravel. Spin there, he couldn't quite catch. I think that's where Kazakhs went off. However, Kazakhs just kept the car pointing the right way. James has retired on track there. Clearly not his day, crashed in qualifying. Made that mistake now in the race. Could have carried on but chose not to. Run down to turn 1. They may have DRS down towards turn 2. I don't think they will though. As Rayman and Festa going side by side now into the first corner. The Ferrari behind runs wide and Jay Prentice moves up into P7. There's now Roimsey and Trainman go side by side into turn 2. They get very close. And Trainman drops 2 positions there, I think. Jay Prentice now up into P7. Indo up into P10 now. Trixie is back up into the points. Down in P12. And then Festa currently running P6. However, right on the back of Rainman after getting passed by him earlier on in this lap. Looking at the map then, I think Trench went a little bit wide on the exit of 11. So we see Kazakh getting a time penalty, clearly pushing very hard to make up for that pit stop under the safety car. You're running down last, the only driver out of the points as well. Roman has pulled away from Vesta, however he will have DRS. Coming down to turn 1, doesn't look like he's anywhere near close enough though. Jay Prentice leads the train to the rest of the cars. As mentioned earlier, very hard to overtake, at least in a straight line. As Kazakh is now spun at turn 1. That Navy dot is moving, so he's able to continue. Possible front wing damage now on that Red Bull. At the same time as being 10 seconds off the back of the points. Drivers come funneling through the middle sector once more. Netsky still not being able to pull away out in front as Ronzus right up behind him. As Bromsey picks up a time penalty there coming through the middle sector. Festa, I believe, is about to get absolutely swallowed up by this chasing pack. Clearly struggling for pace around here, is on a softer tyre. And yet not quite being able to run at a faster pace than the rest of them on the mediums. So soft, as we saw actually at the start of the race, may already be going off on the Haas as Jay Prentice gets up the inside into the first corner. Festa there will try a switchback, I don't believe it has worked. The Racing Point would still have had DRS running down into the first corner. Kazakh then into the pit lane. No yellow flags, so I think he's going to continue. He has pit onto softs. We'll try and get the fastest lap as Festa there running wide out of 4. Has Romsey right up behind him as they come into the chicane. The Ferrari there kicking the back end out ever so slightly. Top 4 battle right now, looking very tasty indeed. Of course, Timmy down in P4. Up behind Trench, his teammate Ronzus. And then Netsky, who still leads the way, has managed to open up a half-second gap now. But that will obviously come down due to the DRS. Netsky seems to be able to get the traction out of the corners that matters the most. If you look back, I think Rome's has gone past Festa down to turn 1, he has indeed. Now down to P8 in the house. As Trainman looks to now make his move as they come up for crest towards turn 4. Backs out there into the corners. Festa and Trainman are both given an extra 3-second time penalty for their troubles. The back end of that Ferrari looks very realistic. Seems to be stepping out pretty much everywhere. Trainman looks to be doing a very good job to stop the car from spinning on him. Festa runs off the track through turn 9. Seems to have just held the position. I think he ran off track at 11 as well. Having to push very hard. It's a little bit of a bump from the Ferrari as well. Obviously, Trainman's got to try and stop Hindle getting past, as he actually bottoms out over the curb on the exit of 13. They now come out onto the pit straight once more. I'd imagine it's quite an easy move for Trainman. It is indeed, he moves to the inside. And we'll have that position. Hindle now behind him, getting very close. Vapor King and Tracy side by side as well. Coming through turn 1. Vapor King, a little bit of weaving, might have lost the back end a little bit there. So they came out of the corner. Hindle up into P10, getting 3 points for himself and his team. However, running very low on the old battery. Trixie getting a little bit loose through turn 4. Vapor King will try and capitalise on it, but nothing coming of that just yet, at least. Kazakh gets the fast lap of the race as expected, due to being on brand new soft tyres. As they now come through the middle sector once again, now into the third sector. Trixie again, the back end stepping out of that Renault. Really pushing very hard indeed. I do believe we look forwards. There is a Fester just the front of Hindle. I believe Hindle will be looking to get past down on the run into the first corner, as he's actually got just about snuck up the inside. The back end will step out a little bit. Now deploying the very little battery he has left, he will be derating down the straight. I believe Trixie as well is going to send it up the inside. Double overtake there for the Renault. However, Hindle there getting a switch back, putting the Renault back into its place, which is behind him. A couple of penalties there being given out for some guys, I think more towards the front. And Vapor King also getting past Fester then, as he drops from, I think, P6 down to P12 since the restart. Yellow flag as Kazakhs has gone round on the exit of 13. Is this battle over just yet? 5 laps left to go. I don't believe it is. Kazakhstan back into the pit lane. Jay Prentice picks up a time penalty. Looks like Trixie, the only car here having the pace to at least match Hindle. Vapor King not quite being able to stay with them, and Fester dropping off. As long as Fester gets to the end at this point, he is guaranteed a point. I don't see Kazakhs catching him now. However, Fester will come into the pit lane as they get very close to Kazakhs there. I think he'll try to nick a little bit of slipstream. They came down into turn 1. Dangerous up the road from this. We'll go up a couple of different engines. Get to listen to the Ferrari now. Of the Alfa Romeo in P7 as they come up over the crest. Trainman taking a much tighter line, backing off a little bit and accelerating through the corner. Trainman looks to be the quicker of the two at the moment, so we'll see if he can do anything with that. He's forced Rumsey a little bit offline there through turn 9. Come down now into 12. Still no changes between the front four. Netsky still leads Ronzus, Trench and Timmy. I think Rainman may be being caught by Jay Prentice ever so slightly. So may still see a battle for P5 in the latter stages of this race. And Ronzi here using all of his battery to try and defend from Trainman. And at least it paid off. Very risky using your entire battery as Rainman spun at the first corner. Wheels are still on the car, so he is okay to continue. A virtual safety car. And Ronzi's taking the lead. Okay then, when did that happen? Ronzus now leads the race. He's got ahead of Netsky. May have been a virtual safety car reaction, unless the move happened down into the first corner or the second corner, or maybe even the third or fourth. We do have a new race leader, and it's the guy that started down in P16 32 laps ago. DRS enabled, we are back to running. Ronzus now with the better tyres, however Netsky will have the DRS as they run down to the first corner. He darts out, he uses a little bit of the grass for braking. I heard it helps. Ronzus, however, does run Netsky off the track at the first corner. Camera angle not helping out there whatsoever. Netsky absolutely sends it up the inside into turn 2. What a move. A little bit robust. He is now ahead. A very late move as well, and now Vapor Trench will take P2. Ronzus there losing out on 2 positions there. A very robust dive from Netsky up the inside of the second corner. We'll have to wait and see if that move will stick. Definitely contact between the two. Don't believe damage was caused. Now look back, I believe Trixie lost it at turn 1. I think I saw the Renault off the track with brief yellow flags. Actually promotes Hindle up into 8th. Actually, no, I think Hindle was actually already ahead, wasn't he? So Trixie running a little bit deep. Might have tried a move. Decent recovery from Hindle at the moment though. Obviously still 2 laps to go. Don't want to jinx him. He has had absolutely terrible luck so far this season. Currently on for a decent result in P8. And if I'd never changed for the lead, Vapor Trench now getting past Netsky as they're on side by side down towards turn 2. Netsky not able to send up the inside this time. However, Ronzu's now dropping down to P4 behind his teammate. Does that Mercedes have damage? It didn't look like he did. Car seems to be okay, maybe a little bit startled. And may know about penalties for the front 3. So could still get back up onto that podium. As the leading quad now come down into turn 12 for the penultimate time. Battle for the win is not over yet, at least on track. Penalties, as I said, could very much still determine the outcome of this Grand Prix. Vapor Trench then out of the final corner, looks to have gapped Netsky by just enough. However, is now derating as no battery left, so may come under a lot of pressure. Down towards turn 2, Netsky as well doesn't have the best of battery as he tries to chase. However, Trench has gotten out of the DRS zones. He's now done with them. No more DRS aided opportunities. So if he's going to take the win on track, he needs something very magical indeed. I think Hindle's had a lot of company over the race, a couple of laps. Trixie and Vapor King. Actually no, there's a Vapor King, that is Kazakh's a lap down. So there's a two-way battle here for P8 on the final lap of the race. Going to go back up to the leaders, however. Vapor Trench coming down into turn 12 for the last time. 2 more corners to go. And now just the Mercedes duo very close together. But Vapor Trench rounds the final corner and he will take the win, at least on track. How does it go to penalties? Netsky wins from Timmy and Ronzu's. Vapor Trench actually drops down to P4. Rainman then in 5th, gets jumped by Joe Prentice, who takes 5th. Romsey then across the line in 7th. Hindle to the line, takes P8 and does so as well. Trixie then P9, Vapor King P10. 2 more cars now to cross the line. Trainman there has awarded another penalty. Does actually go purple if we sector 2. However, due to getting that penalty, if he gets the fastest lap, I don't believe it will count as it isn't clean. And now around the final corner. Don't believe that was the new fast lap, as I didn't see anything pop up at the bottom. Driver really goes to Ron Zeus there. Started 16th, I think got P3 in the end there. After a brief stint leading the race, got absolutely battered out of the way by Netsky with a very robust move for the lead. May have damaged both cars, as Entrenched took the lead, then Netsky's tyres may have just disintegrated on the final couple of laps. As our podium is now visible to us, Netsky is taking the win from, I believe it was Timmy ahead of Ronzus. At least it was that way on track. Penalties may have swapped that. We will have a look now as we wait for the timing screen to pop up. Nevsky takes the win, no penalties for the front trio. So Nevsky winning ahead of Timmy and then Ronzeus in P3. Vapor Trench then P4, won the race on track, so he might be happy about that. For dropping down after the race. Joe Prentice then takes P5, very good race for him, actually started down in 15th. It's a very good race there from the guys that started on the back row. Rainman then finishing 6th ahead of Rhymesy, Hindle, Trixie and Vapor King. Fester and then Trainman getting the final point. Kazuk's getting the fastest lap. But again, he's not in the points, so I don't know if that will count. James, Vapor Shea and then Ekeland are the 3 retirements. But that will be it then for CSGB Racing today. We should be back on the main channel for the sprint race tomorrow, which will be followed by the F2 feature race. So do join us for that. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like on the stream as well, all the way till it's posted on the channel tomorrow or in the next coming days. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you tomorrow with the F1 sprint race. See you then.